Hello, and welcome to the Chi Tales, where we create more joy in the world by creating more joy in our life. I am Tina Lehman, aka T, and I'm an ambassador of joy. I feel this title is very impressive and important these days, and we can each be an ambassador of joy without needing permission from anybody. Curiosity brings me joy, and I'm curious who has a morning pages practice. I know members of the Gathering of the Creatives Tribe do, and some people might be wondering what a morning pages practice is. I'd love to know in the comments. Morning pages is 3 pages. These are mine from this morning. 3 pages in just your standard notebook. And they are stream of consciousness writing. They are not artful. We don't care about grammar. We're writing whatever comes to mind. And I began my morning pages practice back in 2016. I was diving into The Artist's Way by the beloved Julia Cameron. And The Artist's Way, A Spiritual Path to Higher Creativity, is not just a book to me. This is a way of life. And spirituality and creativity are like this. They are interconnected for sure. My morning pages practice began at a time when, during a time I had forgotten what brought me joy. It was during a time I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, and somehow I continued with this morning pages practice. And sometimes I would be writing and I wouldn't know what to write. I would just write, I don't know what to write today. I'm in a bad mood. I wish I felt better. And then I started writing, I'm so happy and grateful that. And gratitude will open up so many doors for us. And as I've been practicing morning pages every day for the past 6 years, it has evolved into something that is a sacred part of my morning. I attended intensive workshops with Julia in Santa Fe during the Gathering of the Creatives. And this morning pages practice, my morning pages practice, has evolved into something far bigger. Morning pages will not allow me to procrastinate. Morning pages will keep me focused. And as creatives, we have a lot of ideas, and sometimes we procrastinate. Morning pages do not allow us to procrastinate. We might get a gentle nudge. We might get a not so gentle nudge. Hey, are we still doing this? What's going on with this project? You started another one. Why? And it helps you really drill down into the whys. And I started writing them at the time, as I said earlier, I didn't know. I had forgotten what brought me joy. And as I wrote the morning pages, because it was a difficult time, my ego whined. It was a whiner. It said, you don't have time for morning pages. And morning pages responded by connecting me with my heart and my heart's wisdom. And my heart knows everything. And my heart said, yo, dude, we're not listening to you. I'm taking this girl to Joytown. And slowly and surely, I see this time as a sacred part of my morning. And then walking 30 minutes. In The Artist's Way, Julia recommends walking for 30 minutes. This completely changes our consciousness and opens up our creativity. I loved when Julia said that writing the morning pages is like clearing the windshield. And I see it as clearing the windshield of the daily grind. I got to do this. I forgot to do this yesterday. I need to do this today. Blah, 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 blah. It creates this beautiful clarity around our creativity. And one day I was writing. And as I said, this has become a way of life for me. The Artist's Way has become a way of life, and the morning pages have become a sacred part of my morning. They are a love letter to the Creator. They have become a love letter to the Creator. They have become a love letter to my soul. They have become a love letter to myself. And one morning I was writing, "Dearest Divine Soul, what would you like me to know today?" We are so programmed, beautiful people, we're so programmed to listen to outside sources, to ask other people what they think. Sometimes, especially if you're an empath, you may need to know what someone else thinks or feels to even know how you think or feel. And Morning Pages has tuned me into my sovereignty. Morning Pages have tuned me into my sovereignty, and I will explain, I'll define that, how I'm using sovereignty in this context. I have this beautiful knowing in my heart and in my soul of what I need to know, what I need to do. It's this knowing. That's my sovereignty, and I don't need to check in with anybody. I don't need permission from anybody. And speaking of permission, so often in our jobs and our careers, we're programmed to think, I need to be told what to do. I need to follow orders, especially in the education system, where creativity is desperately needed. It's desperately needed. And our liberty becomes foreign. We're not quite sure what to do with our own liberty when we're not told what to do. Regardless of what we're doing creatively, if we're creating a business, our liberty feels foreign almost, because we're so accustomed to being told what to do, and Morning Pages will also tune you into your sovereignty. So back to me and my soul. Dear Divine Soul, what would you like me to know today? And she said, Dearest Beloved T, let's sing more. And that was it. 3 words. Let's sing more. Exclamation point. And this enlightening conversation unfolded. Do you remember when you used to sing every day? Do you remember when you loved learning new songs? Do you remember when you sang with the Dallas Women's Chorus? My heart expanded with this feeling. And what was this feeling? It was joy. It was joy. I remember walking one Saturday afternoon in Dallas, and I met members from the Dallas Women's Chorus and the Turtle Creek Chorale, and they were raising money to go to Carnegie Hall. And I said, I want to go to Carnegie Hall and sing with you. How do I go to Carnegie Hall and sing with you? And I attended the 3 required rehearsals. I auditioned with Dr. Tim Seelig. And Dr. Tim, thank you for your beautiful gifts. Thank you for pulling notes out of me that I didn't even know existed. I auditioned with Nel Corpio non mi sento, and I finished singing the song, and Dr. Tim said, girl, what note are you singing in? I didn't know. I didn't know what note I was singing in. I was just happy to sing for somebody. And I got into the chorus and singing in Carnegie Hall. Whew. Singing in Carnegie Hall and being in New York City at this time was one of the most incredible experiences of my life. Singing at the Meyerson in Dallas. We performed Carmina Burana by Carl Orff, and the acoustics in the Meyerson are so beautiful. And I want to say a big hello and an I love you to John Norris and Steve Hopkins. I know you love attending the Meyerson. Singing there was amazing. There is a gorgeous solo within Carmina Burana, and it's called Entrutina. And I had just joined the chorus, and Dr. Tim announced that he was going to be auditioning. And I was so excited. I went home and I started researching sopranos. I researched how Sarah Brightman sang. I researched how Charlotte Church sang. I rehearsed and I rehearsed and I rehearsed. And I did not put my name down on the audition list. And you might be asking why. And the reason why came out through the morning pages. I'm telling you, we learned so much about ourselves through this practice. Basically, I was locked in the hell of perfectionism. I practiced and I practiced and I rehearsed and I rehearsed. But I was weighted with all of these questions. Well, what if the sopranos that have been in the chorus 5 years and up, what if they look at me and say, who the hell does she think she is? She just joined. What if I make a mistake in front of everybody? What if I make a mistake in front of everyone? I'm just gonna be in the choir. I'm just gonna hide in the chorus, and any mistakes I make will be hidden. So I didn't audition. And it's so funny that when I decided to sing every day, this was the song that I sang. This was the song that my heart was saying, oh man, let's sing that again. Let's just sing it for the pure joy. Let's just sing Intrutina for the pure joy of it. And the reason I didn't audition is I made the decision from fear and not from love. And in Liz Gilbert's book, Big Magic, she speaks to living a creative life as a road trip. Hey, Susan Motley, I hope you're watching. My beautiful road trip sister. I loved our road trips from Dallas to Austin. They were the best. The music was always the best, and the conversations. But Liz Gilbert says that it's okay. It's okay to be fearful. It's okay to be fearful, but we do not allow fear to make any decisions. Fear can sit in the back seat. Have a seat, that's cool. You happy? Great. I know you're back there. You don't get to make any decisions about the music. You don't get to make any decisions about the snacks. I'm going to do this anyway. And when we feel the fear and we do it anyway, this is called courage. So for today, I am going to sing for you and for me Intrutina. And to me today, in this episode, Intrutina it's a symbol of doing more of what lights us up. It's a symbol of feeling the fear and doing it anyway. It's a symbol of courage. Intrutina mentis dubia fluctus ant contraria. And yay, I made a mistake, and that's okay. I am no longer trapped in the hell of perfectionism and just doing what makes us feel good, what brings us joy, what lights us up is why we're here. Even when we don't feel we deserve joy, we do, my God, we do. It's our birthright. It's our birthright. And as I was singing, I wasn't trying to be Sarah Brightman. I wasn't trying to be Charlotte Church. I'm singing for me, and I'm singing from my heart. And I'm singing even when it's not perfect, just because it feels good. Simply because It brings me joy. I'm not thinking of a recording contract. I'm not thinking about singing in Carnegie Hall. I am simply singing because it brings me joy. So I'd like to pose 3 questions to you to sit with in the coming days. 1, what would you do if you let go of the illusion of perfect? What would you do if you let go of the illusion of perfect? Whew. 2, what would you do if you didn't care what anybody thought? Oh, this is my favorite. What would you do if you didn't care what anybody thought? Freedom! What would you do if you didn't care what anybody thought? And 3, what would you do today that lights you up? It can be something so small. It's important to cultivate joy in our life before we realize that joy is missing. But when we come to a point that I'm feeling just how do I cultivate joy? It could be today. I listened to Sarah Vaughan sing Lullaby of Birdland. Oh my God, that's all I needed. That's all I needed. So what is the one thing that you can do today that brings you joy, that lights you up, that lights your heart up? And the next episode will be on comparison. So I hope you tune in. I want to thank you for tuning in today, and I'll see you next episode.